Hello and welcome to Shining Spirit Wellness. I am Jennifer Quick and thank you for joining me today. I'd like to take a few minutes today to talk about healing and why it works and why it doesn't work sometimes or appears not to work and what is really actually going on. So there's a healing that can happen like Reiki. Reiki is a hands-on healing. It is opening yourself up to bringing life force energy into the body, and that life force energy actually floods through the body and pushes out any blocks. Energy is got multiple different levels of density. Obviously, our physical body is the most dense portion of us, and then our mental and emotional body is the next level, and then we've got our spiritual bodies. Life force energy will come through and it will heal the least dense energy first. So we heal spiritually, then we heal mentally and emotionally before we'll heal physically. A lot of times a healing will appear to happen real quick, and it's like, wow, I did hands-on healing, I did Reiki, and I cured somebody. I've seen this happen. I have seen clients come out of a treatment room and their body has released the pain and they are walking properly, they're talking properly. I've seen stroke victims recover. I've seen physical injuries all of a sudden no longer bothering, arthritis released, all sorts of things that happen physically. The reality of what's happening is that this person has already done the healing work on the other energy levels. And now the last one was the release that needed to happen. And you had the joy of being there and seeing that and participating in that release. That's when it heals physically. When someone has a physical issue and they go to an energy healer and they feel like their physical issue is still there, it can be there for two reasons. One, they haven't healed on the spiritual side or the emotional mental side. And two, maybe they aren't ready to release it themselves. You have to actually choose new action in order to have something new. They may be identifying with their physical pain as part of who they are. And so the energy healing that's going on is healing them, but it's working at that part of it. It's working at healing and presenting the energy for them to release it. We can't do it for them. They actually have to make that choice to release it. So there's a couple reasons on the physical level. When we go into a healing energy such as the Akashic Records and we start working with people at a soul level, energy moves a whole lot quicker. And they actually heal at an energy at the soul level. So they can heal past karmas, they can relieve negative influences. There's a lot that can happen at that level as we've had multiple lives. The thing that happens though is we heal at spiritual level. That doesn't mean we've released it in our physical life. We still have to release it in our physical life. So we have to make new choices on how to think, new choices on how to feel, and new actions that we physically do. We have to anchor that new healed energy in our physical world. And until we do that, it's not going to release. So when we heal in the Akashic Records, we heal deeply at a spiritual level. And it clears the passage so that somebody can heal physically. Now, from the Akashic Records, we can get information as to how people are showing up in their life at the mental, emotional, and physical levels. And we can make adjustments and guide them towards making choices in their life that actually shift their physical energy, their mental thoughts, and their emotions so that they are aligning with who they really are as a soul. And then when that happens, then life comes together and they start having magic happen and the healing is truly accomplished. When we're doing something where we're connecting with the divine spirit and we're bringing in that healing energy, we are shining light on the person and creating a safe space for them to heal. Everybody has free will. That is our gift. So we as healers cannot override somebody's free will. It's completely up to them whether they will accept it or not. So when you lay your hands on somebody and they say they don't feel it, or they don't think that anything is happening, or you don't think anything is happening. Maybe you're used to getting a lot of feedback energetically. You get images, you get senses, you get feeling. And in this person, you're not getting any emotional, any feedback energy wise. That doesn't mean it's not working. It simply means that the person who's receiving is not fully opening up to it. And a lot of people do that. A lot of people are guarded. They're protecting themselves. They need to become comfortable enough to receive it. And that's all perfectly fine. The healing is happening, but that's what it has to heal first, is their protection mode, where they are not accepting it. So we shine the light to them. And then when they accept the light in, it's their choice. Their free will has to accept that healing. Now, most people, when they are making that decision to come to a healer, whether it be a Reiki healer, an Akashic record healer, or some other modality, when they make that choice and they take that action to actually come and see you, that is a very powerful physical choice. And it shifts the energy right there. That's the start of it. And for some people, that's enough. And all of a sudden they come and they receive that energy, they receive that healing that you're doing with them, they receive that light from divine spirit, and they make great progress. Other people make that choice as a physical choice by showing up, but they're not quite ready to release it on a mental, emotional, or even spiritual level. So you may not actually get the feedback of, wow, exciting healing change. This doesn't mean it's not working. It's still working. It's still offering it to them. And all we can do is to continue to offer it. The more confidence we have in ourselves, the stronger the energy flows through us. So when we're doing Reiki and we have a confident intention of opening ourselves up and allowing that energy to flow through us, it flows. It flows very, very clearly. And we never have to worry about that. Sometimes as healers, and that's part of our growth that we go through in learning these modalities, sometimes as healers, that energy has to heal us first. Because sometimes our free will, even though we've shown up and taken the class, sometimes our free will isn't quite got the confidence to open ourselves up and say, yeah, it's working. And that just takes experience. Just keep going at it. Give yourself the opportunities to play with this. Give yourself the opportunities to share it with others. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid and hold yourself back. You've chosen to embrace healing. Let it flow. Trust in it. Trust in the divine spirit. And that you are giving yourself to being that tool, that passageways, that conduit for the healing energy to come through. When you go into the Akashic records, trust your intention. You know, you're going into that with the intention of healing. We're going into it with the intention of loving, of doing good. And that intention carries through. It powers it. When we access the Akashic records, we actually choose to align ourselves physically. We put ourselves in a space where we're settled, we're calm, we're in a healing, where we're in a mode that we are allowing that to come through. We mentally and emotionally put ourselves into that space where we're aligning with the Akashic records. We're tuning into it. That's all physical action that just opens us up to having that access. And once we do that, that information comes through. And you, over time, you learn to trust it and you know that it's really working. So when you're working with a client and they say, you know what, it didn't do anything for me. Well, now you can move to the next step and say, you know what, I've been doing this long enough that I know you healed. But let's look as to why it's not showing up in your life yet. Maybe there is a mental, emotional, a physical reason that you're not accepting it, or that you're not making new choices. If we continue to repeat the same pattern, we're going to continue to recreate the same situations. So we have to change our patterns. but we need to start looking at it. Once something has been removed, a negative karma or a entity attachment or earthbound spirit or any kind of negative block has been removed, we've received, maybe it's been removed, but we never received the lesson. Maybe we didn't open ourselves up and accept the lesson that we learned from it, or accepted the fact that we're done with it. We don't need to keep learning it. Until we accept that and we choose a new action in our physical life, it's not going to clear the problems that we're facing because we keep presenting ourselves into those problems. So the more that we release, the more that we intend, and the more that we open ourselves up and trust this and trust the process of healing, and then choose. That's the step a lot of people forget. You must look at your life and choose new action. If you've always believed that life is going to throw just garbage at you because that's your station in life, you're meant to be in poverty, you're meant to have your heart broken, you're not capable of having relationships, you've got some kind of program, some kind of belief that is stuck inside of you that is not allowing you to choose new behavior. We can't change our circumstances until we choose something new. We have to engage in the healing. The healing allows us to be in a present space to allow us to make new choices, but we have to make those new choices ourselves. Nobody can do that for us. So go to a healing, have that done, and then start making new choices. Ask yourself, who do you want to be in this life? What kind of life do you want? And then once you decide what it is you want, then ask yourself, what kind of person has that? What does that person who has that, how do they show up every day? If you want a loving relationship, how does a loving person show up in the relationship you're having? And it's amazing what happens. When you start consistently showing up in your life as to who you really want to be and what you really want, as the person that has what you want, is living the life that you want, it's amazing how your physical world around you starts to shift. And it's not a painful thing. It's not a sharp thing. It's not something that causes a wake of despair behind you. It actually releases everybody involved. So to heal your relationship, for instance, if you choose new behavior and you start showing up and reacting as the person having the ideal relationship that you want, you now create a space that the other person in the relationship is now going to respond differently. And they're going to change as well. They're either going to change or they're going to move away from you and someone else is going to come in and be in your life. That happens too. So you have to just trust it. You have to let it go. And you have to say, this is how I'm going to show up. If you want to show up and be here with me, great. If you don't, that's okay. I wish you all the best on your way because I know somebody else is there for me. It's the same when you're thinking about money. If you're constantly thinking that money only comes from hard work, then you're going to have work really hard to get the money. It's not going to come to you easily because you've already programmed yourself to say, no, easy money doesn't come to me. Hard money comes to me. I have to work hard for the money. Or maybe you don't believe that you're okay to have it. No, I was born into struggle. Life is a struggle, and I will die and leave this life in struggle. Well, guess what you're going to get? You're going to get all the opportunities for struggle. So make your choice. Is that what you want? No. Yes? Okay. Life will deliver to you exactly what you want. A lot of people think that they will, I want money. I want lots of money, and money comes to me easily. So we say all these affirmations, money comes to me easily and in abundance. And we keep saying them and saying them and saying them. But then at the same time, we go out and we do that same behavior that we've always done. We don't change our behavior. So we have to change it. All right. So that, and it can be very, and I'm not talking, don't go crazy. You don't go out and all of a sudden money comes to me easily. So I'm just going to go and buy a jet plane and fly because and max out all my credit and take this fabulous trip. No, and money will just show up to pay for it. No, that's irresponsible. We still have to be responsible. Okay, that's just wishful thinking and irresponsibility. If you want that money to come to you easily, you need to learn to relax and appreciate when money comes into your life and be thankful when you do have the money to pay your bills. Be thankful when you do have the ability to pick up a little bit of extra. But you also, when you don't have the money to purchase that extra, that's okay too. You're being responsible. And you're not saying, I can't have that because I don't have the money. What you're actually wanting to do is put the mindset in and going, how I choose to spend my money. I am making the choice not to spend my money here. I'm making the choice to have my money here, to put my money towards this. It is my choice. I'm not buying that new CD or that, if there's old school CDs, I'm not choosing to not go to that concert or not go to the movies because I don't have the money. I am choosing not to do it because it's not where I want to spend my money right now. That's very different. Okay. One is putting us in power, and one is saying, I have no power. And you have to remember that you are in power. Okay. Somebody who has a lot of money and money comes to them easily, if you actually observe them, they're not just out there buying everything and having fun and like, ah, da, da, da. They actually are aware of their money and they're responsible with it. They know where it's going. They know where it's coming from. And they just go get it. They know they have to put into action to receive. And they do. And it comes to them easily because they are putting it out. They're giving the universe opportunities, right? Money comes to me easily because I put myself out there. I did something. But if I do the same thing every day, if I go to my job that I hate every day and I make it hard for me to earn that money, well, money's going to come to me hard, right? If I go into my work with the mindset of going, you know what, I'm lucky I got a job. I'm pretty happy with, where I am. This is serving my needs right now. And you're thankful for that. Then money comes to you a lot easier, right? And you can make changes. You can start laying out I want to do a different job by all means. But don't make it a hard thing on yourself. Don't punish yourself. We often punish ourselves. If I want this, well, I can't do that. No, don't punish yourself. Love yourself. I love myself enough to know that I don't want to do that. I want to do this because this is going to provide this kind of reaction. Every action gets a reaction. Well, this action is going to give me that reaction. I like that one. I'm going to do that one. I don't like this one. I ain't going to do it. Do you understand the difference? We are in power. So as healers and when we go to somebody for healing, we have to remember that in the end, it is our free will and we have to accept the healing. And it's our client's free will. We can't override their free will. They have to accept the healing and they will. We can help them and guide them in making new choices. We can help them and look at their lives to see where they're going and what they need to do in order to accept the healing to come in. And we can shine all the light and send all the life force energy and put out all those requests. And in the end, we're presenting it. We're going, here it is. Go ahead and take it. But in the end, they have to accept it. So that's my little bit today. I'm going to go now, and I wish you all the best. Namaste. Thank you for joining me, and I hope this gave you a little bit of insight as to how healing actually works and how we need to take responsibility for our healing. And we also need to respect our clients' free will when we're working with people. Bless you, and have a good day.